Okay everybody, this is our third video on LAB01 and we'll be focusing on the section for LAB01C. I've already opened up our packet tracer file LAB01B and we want to go to our PC and then desktop and then the command prompt and ping our router. So there's our PC, we're at our desktop tab and we're going to click on the command prompt and we're going to enter in an IP address, ping 192.168.2.1 for our router. You can see that the router is replying and we're good to go there. I'm just going to throw in that we also want to ping our switch. So I'm going to hit my up arrow, bring that command back, and just change the 1 to a 5. Press enter. And let's see what, oh, here we go. It's finally. Sometimes there's a little bit of a delay. It takes the device some time to respond. But once it starts responding, then it'll go 100%. So if we ping this again, you'll notice we'll get 100% reply. There it goes. Okay, so we're good. So from our PC, we're able to talk to our switch and to our router. The next thing we want to do is we want to take a snapshot of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to my snipping tool. Pull that over here. I'm going to say new. And then I'm going to take a snapshot of this. Then we will create a new Word document. And I'll bring that over here. And we'll say that's just a blank document. And I'll paste that in with a Control-V. So we've got that. Let's go back to our packet tracer, and from here what we want to do is we want to start a Telnet session on our PC. So go back to the PC and here we are at the command prompt and we're going to use the Telnet command, Telnet, and you then specify the IP address of the device that you want to Telnet to, and in this case we want to Telnet over to our router. So we're going to 192.168.1. It's 2.1, and we're going to press enter. Now at this point the router is now asking for us to authenticate, and because we have come in through Telnet and a quote virtual terminal line or a VTY line, it is looking for the VTY password, and if you recall we set those standard passwords up, and that's a capital V with lowercase password. So let's type in V, capital V, password. Oh, I timed out, sorry. Alright, let's go back, let's try that again. So capital V, password. Okay, and now we are at the user exec prompt, and from here we're going to want to get into our privileged mode. So we're going to type in EN, and then it will ask for the privileged mode or the enable mode password, and if you recall that's password all lowercase. So we'll type that in, press enter. Now you see router A #, that's telling you you're in your privileged mode. Once we're here, we have the ability to ping both the router, or ping the PC and the switch. So let's do that. So we'll say ping, and we'll ping the PC first. So 192.168.2.10, and we get 100% success there. And now we'll go back and we'll ping the switch at 2.5. Again, it may take a moment. and we got that. So it finally did come back and respond. If we ping it again, it will again come back with 100%. Okay, so we've got that. So from here, what we want to do is we want to take a snapshot of this to show that we are able to ping. So again, I'm going to go to my snipping tool. I'm going to say new, and we're going to take a snapshot of that. And then we'll switch over to our Word document. And there's our Word document. And we're going to paste this into our Word document. So I use a Control V. Okay, and there it is. There's the previous snapshot that we had. Now I'm going to switch back to our packet tracer. And at this point, I want to display our running configuration. So the command is show. No, it's not going to help if I talk to the snipping tool. And I don't want to talk to the Word document. Here we are. Now we're talking to packet tracer. So we are going to now say show running, and now we start to see the commands that are within our running configuration file. As you can see, host name, router A, enable password. We're going to come down. You're going to see the configuration for the fast Ethernet 00 at 192.168.2.1 with a /24 for the subnet mask. And we'll continue on down. And you'll see our configuration for the console line as well as for the VTY line, and so that's great. Now, at this point, we want to copy all of these commands, and we are going to drop them into a text file. So first, let me open up a text file on my system. I'm using Notepad. I'm going to swing that on over here. We'll go back over to our packet tracer, and now I'm just going to hold my left mouse button down, and I'm going to now highlight all the commands that are in. I'll even have the show running here, and I'll give it a right click now, and I'm going to say copy. I'm going to go over to Notepad, and I'm just going to denote this as router A config, and then we're going to paste in those commands, and there they all are, and there's the end of that. Okay, super. So there are all of our commands. Now, one of the things that I recommend strongly is that as you develop your labs, that you take copies of these configuration files, as they will provide good examples of some of the commands that you need to do to accomplish various tasks as we go through our future labs. All right, so we've got that, and let's see, do we have anything else? Nope. Now from the PC, we want to go over to our switch and essentially do the same thing. So here we are, we're at Telnet, and what we want to do is we want to break out a Telnet, and I think it's just exit. There we go, yes. So we exit out, and next what we want to do is we want to Telnet over to our switch, which is at 192.168.2.5. Again, it's going to be asking for our VTY password, which is capital V, lowercase password. Then we do our enable command, en, and then Right, no password has been set. We never did set the password on the switch, something we should probably do, or we would always do in a working environment, but I didn't ask you to do that, so that's not a problem. Well, it is a problem, because what's happening now is the system is not allowing us in because we didn't set that password. So I'm going to back up here a minute. Forgive me, this might be a little confusing. We're going to go back to a terminal session. We're still connected. Our console cable is connected into the switch, and we are going to go in here. Now at this point it's asking for a password only because we're coming in through the console or using a terminal session. We want to use capital C, then lowercase password. Okay, then EN, and it looks like our switch name is off as well. So I'm going to go into our global configuration with a config T. I'm going to fix the switch name to switch A, and then I'm going to set the enable password to just lowercase password as our standard. Okay, I'm then going to exit back to the privileged mode, and I'm going to do a copy run to start. Then I'm going to do a reload so all of that takes effect. I'm going to kill this terminal session, go back and show you. At this point we should be able to, let's do a control C. Let's close this out, restart our command. Okay, and we're going to do Telnet back to 192.168.2.5. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, the reason for that is the switch was still booting up and it wasn't ready to accept our connection. It has accepted it now. Now it's asking for the VTY password, V password. Now enable to get into the privileged mode. Now it's asking for our password, lowercase password. Now we're going to do, we can do a ping. I don't think I asked for that in the lab, but just to confirm that we can talk to everything, 192.168.2.10, ping the PC. Okay, we're successful there. Then we're going to ping our router, 192.168.2.1, and we get a success there, so we're good. Next, we want to get a copy of the running configuration as we did with the router. So we're going to say show run, and there is our, we're going to hit the space bar a couple of times, our running configuration for the switch. We're going to go back and we're going to highlight all those commands. And there it is, and give it a right click and then go to copy, then switch over to our notepad file right here and switch A, and then paste the commands right in. Okay, so that's done. Now we've got a couple of things to clean up to document our packet tracer file. I always like to do this. I like to add in a couple of comments So first, I always put in for each one of my sub networks, I always like to put in what is the network ID for that network. And the network ID, because we used a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, which is the default subnet mask for a Class C address, it's going to be 192.168.0. And let's just put in network ID so we're clear about that. Then I like to go around and I like to label each one of the ports as to the IP address, or at least the very last octet in this particular case. So again, we'll use the note, and if you recall, our PC is a 192.168.2.10. So I'm just going to put .10 here. So you can see 192.168.2 and then .10. So that's the IP address of your PC. Then I'm going to copy this. So I'm going to just highlight it, and you'll notice how it turns red. And then I'm going to hit my Control-C to copy, and then I'm going to say paste, and I get that right there. Now let me go and grab this tool, my selection tool, and I'm going to just drag that down right there. I'm going to do another Control-V for paste. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to put that right there. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to correct those IPs. 5. And that's 1. Okay. I'm also going to go in and I'm going to change the names on this to switch A and router A. Okay. Finally, we want to take a snapshot of our workspace and our diagram for our network here. And we'll go back to our snipping tool and we'll say new, and we'll now highlight this, switch over to our Word document. Where is that? Here it is. Okay, and there that is. Now I want to go to the bottom and I want to paste in our network diagram from our packet tracer. Finally, I want to save this file, and we're going to say save as, and we'll put it into the same folder, this temp folder that I've got. And this is going to be the name that I want to create here. Okay. BoJ LAB01 LAB01, and this is item number 15 in the instructions, and it gets an extension of PKT, and so we'll say save. Okay, so we've saved that. Now let's go over and let's save our if you turn to the deliverables, let's save our notepad file. No, that's not it. This is the one I want. And we're going to do a file, save as. Again, we'll put this into the temp folder. And again, CISC235H01F19 BoJ LAB01, and we're going to call this configuration files and an extension of TXT. So we'll save that. Now let's go to our Word document, and I want this one right here. So we're going to again save this into I'm using the temp directory. You can save it on your system wherever you want, just as long as you know where to find it. Okay, so we've got temp there, and what we're going to do is CISC235H01F19 OJ LAB01, and we said snapshots, and that's going to be a docx file. We'll do a save. So at this point, I've created the files that I need to submit, and again, you're going to submit that via email. Don't forget to put in the proper subject and email that to my jamesbow at bucks.edu or james.bow@bucks.edu. Okay, so hopefully this is clear enough for you. We had a little snafu with not setting that password on the switch A, and you'll be able to get through this. In terms of when you should have this in, I'd really like you to get this done before I see you on Thursday. That way, if you have any difficulties, you'll have an opportunity to ask some questions. It's technically not due until next Saturday, which is the 31st. Okay, so today's the 23rd. This will be due on the 31st. Super. I look forward to going over this with you, and we'll talk soon.